A very warm welcome here in Singapore. I like today to share you a kind of view into a city, into a dense city with a lot of people, millions of people, and actually a city which will even grow today and in the future. More millions will come in. And you can see here, we're just sitting in a taxi and we go to the Bishan Am Mok Keo Park, and I would like to share you a little bit this question about how can cities become green and more blue, and what is actually the question we have today in our society. I want to give you a little insight, a little view where we struggle, where we fight for, where we try to find better ways. Well, imagine a lot of people in these cities actually go in the morning in the underground. It's called here MRT, Mass Rapid Transportation. Millions of people go to work, and then in the evening they come back. Most of them, or many of them, never go really out. Sometimes they stay a whole week inside in air-conditioned systems, in a total artificial world. And the relationship to the environment, to outside, is very limited. What do the people really have as feelings, as emotions, but also as spiritual connection to life, to the environment? A lot of kids, actually, we figured out, are scared to touch earth. They are scared to touch water. They are totally disconnected. And a lot of them don't know how tomatoes grow, how potatoes grow, where they come from. Some think actually it comes from a factory. And even butter, milk, and such things, we figured out when we made a research, making a survey and asking actually students what they know about this. It was shocking. And not only small kids, it was even some grown-up kids, like 14 years old. Sometimes they did not even know where our food is coming from. And that is a dilemma. That is a problem. It's not just fun, because it means that we are completely disconnected. And it also means that the responsibility we have for the environment is lacking. And that humans are actually in a very brutal world where they are disconnected and not in. Well, we are already now coming to a place which is called Bishan Am Mok Keo Park. I was lucky because I had the chance about 10 years ago to work in this park, to restore the park and to reconnect water and green. And I will show you this in a short while. So actually, we are sitting here right in Bishan Am Mok Keo Park. And it's a wonderful morning because we were thinking first it would rain and we could not make it.
Yeah.
So I'm Herbert Dreiseitl, and I sit here with Sa Ching Xiang, sorry, I always say it wrong. Maybe say it again.
Xia Ching Xian.
Yeah, okay. And Xia Ching Xian has been one of my students. Now she is actually doing a lot of research here about why gardens are important for people. And I would just like to ask you, what's your passion actually? Why are you doing this? Why are you taking, as a young Singaporean, this topic so serious?
I mean, firstly, Singapore is a highly urbanized environment, and very often than not, people aren't actually, connected to the greenery around them, or they wouldn't know how to get in touch with it. But with things like urban gardens and urban farms, it gets them a chance to get their hands dirty, especially for the young ones, because they're not able to understand how food is being grown, for example, how vegetables are being grown.
I remember we made a survey here.
We did that video, and when we interviewed school children.
Yes.
And we asked them, if they knew how how carrots were being grown, how potatoes were being grown, and leafy vegetables, for example. Some of them had absolutely no idea how they're being grown. So I feel that urban farms give people that that experience of getting the hand study. It gives parents an opportunity to teach the children as well. And also for a lot of these gardens, there are a lot of elderly people who are actually there doing gardening. It gives them a chance to also reconnect with the neighbors around them. And
It's a very social interaction.
Yes, and that's important because we live in such a high density environment, but very often than not, people do not actually know their neighbors. So these kind of gardens and farms and so on, they give people a chance to meet the neighbors, to interact with them and so on.
Well, and I think with this we will make a little walk through the park.
Sure.
Let's go to the
Yeah.
community garden first.
Yeah, that sounds great.
You can't believe this was before on a water pipe, totally covered. We opened it up, and you can't believe how much water comes down when there is a monsoon rain. This is all covered full of water. It will be totally full up to here. We opened it up, we freed this water so that all the water then can flow down into the river. We have retention, so the water goes slower, detention to hold it back, and then release the water clean into the environment, because every drop here in Singapore is actually drinking water. We opened it up. This was a completely closed canal, so all the side streams to the Kallang River were in concrete. We recycled it and we reused it in the park. Let's just go down. I think there are lots of species of animals here, fish and so on. Let's just go a bit down here. Well, we once found even a cobra here. Yeah, but people are more scared. The cobra is more scared of people, I think, than we would be.
Okay.
It's not dangerous, but of course a lot of things we have to take into account, because, for example, look at this fish here. They help us actually to kill all the mosquitoes, because Guernsey fever in Singapore is a big topic, isn't it?
It is a huge problem.
It's a huge problem, but it usually stays when you have water which is completely separated, like small entities of water.
Yep.
But if it's bigger, then there's no chance for the Guernsey fever to survive. Well, we're standing in the middle of the community garden, and actually I stand beside a papaya tree. This belongs all to the community, so a lot of people are here working during the evening, but we are still here now in the early morning. And actually, even above me is a banana palm. Yes, with some bananas. So Ching, tell me, you have been quite often here in the park, and you did interview.
Yeah.
Could you tell me a little bit what you have experienced here?
Okay, so this is the Frangipani garden.
Mm-hmm.
Green Vibes is over the other side, and this garden, Frangipani garden, grows predominantly vegetables, leafy greens, mostly if you take a look around, as you can see. So when I was here, when I did my survey on the project, I actually spoke to a few elderly gardeners, and they had a common idea about why they're doing this. They felt that if they are being at home most of the time, they're not doing anything with their hands. They're just waiting for nothing. But this garden gives them a sense of purpose, and it also improves their mental well-being. They're not bored.
Yeah.
Some of them, the children has already moved out, and they're alone. So once again, this garden gives them the opportunity to reconnect with the community, get their hands dirty, and also in the past, people used to grow their own vegetables to begin with. We call it the kampong days.
Yes.
It's like the olden days,
Yes.
village days. So this gives them, it's a bit of a sense of nostalgia for them
Right.
to do something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also, I think, as you said, reconnecting to get your hands on soil, you're doing something. You're not just thinking. You're just not just abstract in your head. You're
That's
not
right.
just intellectual,
Yeah.
which a lot of the society in our cities do. I mean, we have so many jobs now on computers.
Yeah.
We are totally abstract, disconnected to reality.
That's right.
And if you actually work here really in a garden, and we actually have some people here in the background, maybe you cannot see it on the camera, but which are still working in the morning and cleaning up, which is great.
Yeah.
Okay, let's walk maybe just to some
sure.
other places here
Okay.
around.
So we're here today with two elderly gardeners. They've been here for a while at the Frangipani Garden doing some vegetable gardening and so on. So I'm just going to ask them some questions in Mandarin in terms of how long have they been here for, and also what are the motivations behind it. 那么 Uncle 你在这边种多久了？
这个我是种了些时候8年了，但是
8年。
以前我做工我是在这个床上的，
哦，
里面的
床上的
床上，所以我做4天，休息4天。
那安迪为什么你会在这里种菜啊？
其实我是无意中来的了，我不是有心来这边种的。
OK
其实我是来一个安迪，他跌倒了流鼻血，他就一行不要做。
So she's been here for more than 10 over years, and he's been here for close to 8 years. So they're doing this for leisure, to meet the neighbors, to get their hands dirty, to be a bit more active as well. Basically, it also gives them a chance to just find something to do. That's the most important thing. And for her, she also mentioned that sometimes human interaction with people can be a bit complicated. So when you deal with plants, you don't need to talk that much to them. It keeps things simple. Yeah. And for him, he used to work on a ship. So he only worked like 4 days out of a week, and he would have spare time, which is why he would come here to do some community gardening and so on. So they grow some vegetables and herbs, and as you can see over here, this is basil. He mentioned some other herbs that actually takes the heatiness off your body and also prevents cancer.
Okay.
So
they
that's
do also a lot for health.
yeah, for health.
For health.
Yeah.
Health,
So she mentioned that in the past they would grow some herbs and so on to and cook it into some kind of a herbal soup, and for other people for consumption. And they even tried to sell some of these herbs in the past, but I think things got a bit complicated, and I think you're not actually allowed to do that. So right now they would actually just cook it and give it to friends or neighbors or co-workers and so on.
Yeah. Very good.
Yeah.
Okay, I wish you all the best.
Okay.
All
谢谢你。
the best success for this.
谢谢你啊，谢谢，谢谢你们。
Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you，
Thank you.
谢谢。
而且你们要吃甘蔗，
He asked,
要采3点，你们一起会不会有？
she asked if we would like to have some sugar cane.
Yes.
Yeah. 可以啊，可以啊。
Wow, look at these lotus flowers. I mean, this is so incredible in our park. And it's not just about the gardening, it's not about food production, it's also about the beauty. It's about the emotions, what we need as humans. And these colors and this richness what nature can actually offer. We just got this wonderful present here of the sugar cans, and let's have a look quickly here. Look at this, amazing. This is what I'm so impressed, and we are also, as humans, we are artists, and art really matters because it is the emotions, it is also the spirit which speaks through the beauty to us. And I think it is so important to have this awareness about beauty. And this is what I'm also fascinated in Singapore, that even the engineers here, the PUB, Public Utility Board, have a program called ABC, and it's starting with active, beautiful, and clean.
Yes.
You know, in Germany they would turn it around, they would say clean first, and then maybe the beauty is even forgotten. But how important it is, the beauty. The beauty, in German we say Schönheit, die Schönheit, die Ästhetik. How this is touching our soul, how this is touching our heart, and how this is actually reconnecting us with the world. If we don't have beauty in the world, we actually stay away, we don't connect. If there is beauty, we fall in love. And love is the most important power we have to really take care, to have interest, to really look to something, and to actually really to say the environment really matters, because it has to do something with ourselves.
Definitely.
Okay. Oh my goodness, wonderful. Let's go to the river.
Okay.
What we see on this picture is a lot of trains. This is actually the Mass Rapid Transportation of Singapore, MRT. You see a road, and you see the water encapsulated in a prison. This is actually the old Roger Canal. That is how it looked everywhere. Fences on both sides, no one were able to go in, and actually when a lot of rain is coming, this whole canal will be filled up to the edge, and it is an extremely fast running river. The water situation here is, it is hot, there is no oxygen in, or very little, because there is no biodiversity. Now we changed it completely. We reopened it, and I just see today even how much interest there is. Look at this, there's a whole film team here making movies about something which you will see now in a short moment. This is actually where the concrete canal landed. So you can see this hill is like an art piece, which is using and recycling, is a recycled hill with the old concrete canal. Now let's have a look. This is where the concrete canal was once. This is now a river, and just let's go down there. Yeah, and that's where we are now. This has been the concrete canal, but now it's almost 3 miles, almost 4 kilometers long, which is completely changed like this. We made bridges, but we also made stepping stones. And you know, now it's too hot already, but there are lots of people walking over. There are lots of kids standing here and watching the life, the richness in this water. And it's amazing, you know, if you just look a little bit into the details, there are so many animals, so many fish species, so many plants. So biodiversity did increase, and nature is coming back into human life, and we are in the middle of a very dense city. Look at this richness in water. Look at this richness in our world. You know, just on a personal note, my dear friends, we are so blessed and so happy that we actually met anthroposophy, and that we know about the spirit and about the dimensions we have, the knowledge we got from Rudolf Steiner. But you know what I'm often wondering, are we keeping this for ourselves, or do we really care and give something back to this planet? I think the topic of this conference is a really good one. And with my contribution, I hope this was an insight in the world. And I would wish so much that we could do more for our society, especially to give hope for next generations, to give hope to areas in the world where they really urgently need spirituality, a deeper dimension also about emotions, about spirit, so that this world we live in can be a better one in the future. Thank you.